The last time I made a video about working at Meta, we were right at the tail end of 2022 and had just gone through one of the roughest patches in the company's history. Since then, things have changed drastically, and I wanted to make a video about how things are now. Let's get the ugly parts out of the way first. At the end of 2022, we had the first layoffs in the company's history. This was unprecedented, and funnily enough, we were told by leadership that they didn't anticipate any more layoffs to be necessary. Well, we all know how that went, and once again in April, we were faced with the prospect of layoffs. Luckily, I managed to survive both waves, but unfortunately now, we can't really trust leadership when it comes to these things. Now that the band-aid has been ripped off, leadership will always have this arrow in their quiver for when things aren't going well. I personally don't disagree with the decision to make these layoff rounds. Controversial, I know, but as brutal as they were, the truth of the matter is that the company just hired too many people and invested into too many areas during the pandemic, and this wasn't sustainable. Markets which were going to attract headcount in 2020 and 2021 simply weren't feasible going forward. What does trouble me is that it didn't really seem as if leadership took any accountability or consequences for the mistakes which resulted from their actions. It felt like a big slap in the face when executives were getting exceeds or greatly exceeds ratings for the performance reviews, but we let go of 21,000 plus employees. Not sure how that one adds up. The second ugly bit is now we're in the so-called year of efficiency. Management have basically taken it upon themselves to cut costs wherever they can. We've seen our benefits cut, perks dropped altogether, and then stupid shit like taking away the mouthwash and deodorant in the bathroom, as if the $5 bottle of Listerine is going to make any difference to the company's bottom line. Now, I know you're probably rolling your eyes and thinking what an ungrateful little shit I am and I should stop bitching and being so entitled, but let's think about this for a second. Meta's Reality Labs metaverse has cost the company something like $21 billion in the last 18 months. So we have money to burn on that, but not on some mouthwash so my coworker's breath doesn't stink after lunch. Okay, got it. Sometimes it just feels like our priorities are a bit off. Okay, now that we got the ugly out of the way, let's take the bitching down one notch and talk about the bad. The first thing that comes to mind is our RTO situation. Whereas before, we had a pretty relaxed approach to going to the office and nothing was really enforced. Now, if you don't come in 3 days a week, you're in deep shit and you risk getting a lower performance rating or even getting fired. Of course, they haven't gone full Amazon and they don't track badge out, so realistically you could just come in for breakfast and lunch and then go home, but it's still annoying, especially for people who need to commute. Remote work is still an option, but they've massively increased the criteria to apply for it, and joining as a remote worker is not really an option anymore unless you're very senior and valuable to the company. Another bad thing relating to the layoffs is that we lost a lot of people who were previously in what I would call support roles for software engineers. That includes a lot of data scientists, data engineers, UX researchers, etc. They all lost their jobs, and obviously this leaves a gap in the company that needs to be filled. Unfortunately, a lot of this work has just been thrust onto the remaining employees. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, having to wear many hats, but the problem is we aren't exactly in the possession of the same skills as the people we let go. So what this means is there's a lot of friction and slowing down of regular operations due to needing to handle things that we could previously rely on partner teams for. Okay, finally, that is enough bitching. Let's get to the good stuff. First and foremost, the stock price is 300, baby. We rich. Champagne and caviar is back on the menu, boys. The RSUs are booming, and damn, does it feel good. Our refreshers in 2023 were granted at $186, so we have all seen a massive appreciation in value, and thus our total compensation has gone up. I remember seeing the stock at $88 and thinking, fuck, I need to start leak coding. Not so much now. This is rest invest season, baby. All jokes aside, it's really nice to not have your compensation fall off a cliff like it did last year. Of course, the market can always go down again, but for now, we're happy and we're riding the wave. The second benefit to the stock being up is that business-related travel is no longer blocked, and in tandem with the return to office push, there's actually an appetite to hold events and meetups in person. My team personally has been able to travel twice this year, and it's really great to meet and connect with our distributed coworkers in person. There's something about in-person time that simply can't be replicated over video calls, and this has definitely helped lift morale and build a stronger sense of community. And there you go. That's a 5-minute update of how it is working at Meta in 2023. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, found it informative, and if you have any more questions, why not jump into the community Discord and ask me there. See you in the next one. Bye.